And this one comes to us from Serkan Orbe. And the question is, what about XRP? Obviously, they're talking about Ripple. Any thoughts there, Al?
Yeah, so there's this weird narrative from the past about Ripple. The point being is, even if they have to settle a lawsuit and get a slap on the wrist, Ripple plays actually quite an important role. It's a money transmission network, and it does quite a good job of it. And it has deep connections with global governments around the world and has worked really hard on it. So there is a reason the chain is valued as highly as it is, and it's not from speculation, because actually, it got taken off a whole bunch of exchanges because of the lawsuit. It's actually because when I use my netcast law model, the amount of value that gets transacted on the chain is very high. It's being used. So I think if you lift the legal issue, probability is that the value of the chain increases significantly. And as the world moves towards central bank digital currencies, I think the XRP network is going to be somewhere at the center of all of that. So yeah, I don't rule it out. I know it's not flavor of the day for a lot of people. I think it's a big player, it's a real player, and it has its niche.
Hey, everybody. It's Eddie from an undisclosed location. Yes, I am safe and sound, landed yesterday. I've got a busy couple of weeks coming up, but I'm going to touch base as often as I can. And I really wanted to share this clip with you. This was something that occurred today. Raoul Pal and Ash Bennington did a new format on their YouTube channel, which was a live AMA. I hope they stick with it. I'm a big fan of these guys, and I like the live AMAs. This was one of the questions that they received in the comments as it was streaming. And yeah, pretty cool answer, I think. XRP is indeed being used. We've got another update from Short the FOMO, who does an excellent job at tracking the on-demand liquidity in his website, which is 3xrp.dev. And you can see that Bitstamp and Bitso, halfway through the month here, keep in mind, for the first time, these ODL exchanges are keeping volume higher than Binance. That's a big deal, everyone. I've got one more clip that I want you to listen to, and it is really giving a big perspective on what we are in the middle of.
Since I first discovered Bitcoin in 2013, been of the opinion that this was a parallel financial system that's being built. In the last 18 months, I've realized that it's bigger than just a financial system. It's in fact the entire system of value, transfer, storage, and ownership in the new digital world. It is probably one of the biggest things I've ever heard of or seen, and it is an incredibly exciting moment in time to be part of it. And it's like learning about the discovery of oil when the Rockefellers and all of these guys started figuring out that the oil was going to make the world go round. Had you been an investor and a participant and understood what it could do and what businesses you could build across the network of oil or the mobile phone or the internet, the fortunes that were made, the changes that happened were so staggering. And this is happening faster. And at the very center of it is a system of money and value, which means that in itself, it is going to accrue value faster than anything else, because that's what it's actually doing. It's taking value from old places and putting it into a new place. So the opportunity set is so big, and it is that perfect nexus of macro and crypto, because the macro is so fucked, which we've known for so long. The massive debt, the bad demographics, the polarization of the world again, the deglobalization, the globalization, all the mess that caused. All of that is going on in macro land, which is pretty miserable. And here's the solution in front of our eyes. I mean, what a time to be alive. And that's why it's so important. Everybody needs to understand this stuff. Whether you're trading this stuff, building businesses, or you're just observing it, it is incredibly, incredibly important.
Today, you might have seen a headline that talked about the White House could ban Bitcoin mining. Where that's coming from is this document here. It's a new 46-page report, and it's to tackle the climate change in regards to technology, titled Climate and Energy Implications of Crypto Assets in the United States. The government, on page 7, shows how Bitcoin mining is going to have to comply to performance standards. What kind of standards? Low energy, low water, low noise, clean energy. And if it can't comply, they will have a big red target on their back. And as Charles Hoskinson explained today in his video, which was very good, by the way, the agencies will explore executive actions, and Congress should consider legislation to limit or eliminate the use of high energy intensity consensus mechanisms for crypto mining. And in another video today, he had the reflection of the life of Queen Elizabeth II. You know, she led an extraordinary life. And he makes the point, and again, as only Charles Hoskinson can do, that we are approaching a world through blockchain and through many of these digital assets that provide a solution to many problems. We're getting to the point where we understand that governing the many by the many is a better way than governing the many by the few. His deep comments on birthright entitlement, for example, versus the bottom-up structure gives us a lot to think about, and also brings the awareness level of how important this space is. We need to get rid of this top-down style. And I don't know if he's right or not, but he predicts that because of the awareness that we are achieving through this space, that there'll be a decline worldwide of this kind of top-down monarchy. I'm not sure, but I do think that the bottom-up structure and the govern the many by many is very important.
Delivering exactly the kind of insights that people want. It's not much fluff. It's
Wait. What do you mean no fluff? I've got some fluff for you. Drunk Di and Brad Kimes accidentally marry each other in Las Vegas. This is some funny stuff. It comes from the Town Crier, which is connected to a parody site on Twitter. If you follow the @CryptoTownCrier on Twitter, you can enjoy this really clever fluff. There's no shortage of great photographs on Twitter with everybody who attended the XRPL Dev Summit. And I love this photograph of David Schwartz talking on the stairs with Matt Hamilton. Something about it. I don't know if it's the black and white, probably more just capturing the moment in a real moment. And this one made me smile. These are two very favorite people that I have in the XRP community. On the right is Karma Coverage. He's been on the channel. He is an OG. He has been in this space since, I do believe, 2013. And then, of course, everybody knows attorney Jeremy Hogan. But to see the two of them together, just really, we are in a very special community, everyone. All right, everybody, we're jumping to the fluff. There's a card game in Japan called Karuta, and it was introduced to the country back in the 1500s by the Portuguese traders. There's different versions, but the most famous version is this waka version, where a poem is sung out by a caller, and then the first person to slap and slide the card that identifies that poem that's being sung wins. And it's a very difficult game. It's very competitive. This is a vintage photograph from 1925, what looks like three daughters, and the mom is calling out the poems. The girls that compete in this traditional cultural game is unbelievably fast. I mean, just so fast. And the competition is real serious. So I want to show you a brand new karuta that was introduced through crowdfunding. Instead of poems, it's the skin of fish. Yeah. So the fish is called out, and you have to identify which fish it is by the scale or by the fin that is pictured in the photograph. And on the back side of the card, it gives you a little bit more detail. I want to play this one. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.